Hey guys, what's up? Here's Max. Have you ever wondered what it would be like if the gods of destruction and Dragon Ball angels had a romantic relationship? I know it's hard to imagine that, as these deities seem far above the kind of desire. But the truth is that Toyotaro wanted a god of destruction and an angel to relate in Dragon Ball Super. Did you know that? Toyotaro wanted Belmont and Margarita to be a couple, and they were inspired by Joker and Harley Quinn, a very famous couple from the DC universe. But this idea was not approved by Akira Toriyama, as Toriyama wanted the gods and angels to be above that kind of thing, and didn't think it was appropriate for them to have that kind of relationship. This type of relationship is probably also prohibited by Zeno and Daishinkan, as angels are supposed to be neutral creatures, so having feelings for any god or mortal would be a transgression of angel law. This isn't said in the story, but it's an easy thing to conclude, right? But have you ever wondered what would happen if someone broke this rule? What could happen if a god of destruction and an angel had a child? How would Daishinkan and Zeno deal with this child? What would that child feel when he learned that his existence is a desecration of sacred law? In this video, I'm going to tell you about it. Stay connected to the channel, and let's go to the video. Before I continue, I would like to answer a question that many of you have been asking, which is about the continuation of Dragon Ball Hakai. Well, as I've been explaining in the last few videos, we're having a lot of trouble continuing with the manga production, and the problem is that we don't have enough resources to do that. To solve this problem, we created a Patreon through which fans of the story can help us with donations. We are already getting help from a few people, and we are very grateful to everyone who's helping. But what we have so far is still not enough to continue with the manga. We're almost there, but it still isn't enough. So you, who are watching this video and want to help us continue with Dragon Ball Hakai, please help us. The link to Patreon will be in the video description. Now let's continue with the video. In the very distant past, Belmont was one of the main warriors of the Pride Troopers, the most powerful group in Universe 11. Being a very powerful warrior, Belmont received a proposal to become the god of destruction of Universe 11. He accepted this proposal and began to be trained by the god of destruction of that time, and also by the angel responsible for the universe, Margarita. Belmont's training took a few years, and in that time he developed an interest in Margarita, but he was warned by the god of destruction of that time that an angel could not bond with a god or a mortal. It was against the law. Years passed and Belmont took over as god of destruction. When that happened, he and Margarita started spending even more time together. In fact, they had to live together almost 100% of the time. Belmont was trying to convince Margarita to have something with him, and obviously the angel was against the idea, as this is strictly prohibited. Despite Margarita being very incisive about the subject, Belmont did not give up, and whenever he could, he tried to flirt with the angel, even if discreetly. Centuries, millennia, and hundreds of millennia passed until Margarita finally began to relent. The Hakaishin and the Universe 11 angel became closer and closer. After the end of the Tournament of Power, after experiencing death, Belmont became even more impatient, and he increasingly pushed Margarita's feelings, until the angel finally relented. Belmont and Margarita had a secret romance, which resulted in the birth of a child who had the genetics of a god and an angel. This child was called a Garu. Normally, Daishinkan would know of the birth of a new angel, but to prevent this from happening, Belmont and Margarita gathered the Super Dragon Balls and asked Super Shenron to make this child untraceable by magical means. In this way, his existence was concealed from the divine authorities. Belmont and Margarita could not keep this child near them, so they had asked Topo to take care of the boy, as Topo was the most loyal warrior they knew. Garo didn't take long to grow up, as quickly maturing was the trait of the Belmont race. So at the age of 2, he already had the maturity of a 10-year-old. He ended up finding out about who his father and mother are, but Topo explained the whole situation, and that he couldn't live with his parents, or they could all be killed for treason. Knowing the truth of things, Garo began to develop a great hatred for the divine hierarchy. Over time, Daishinkan began to find it strange that Margarita reports of Belmont's work were always so positive, and that the mortal average of Universe 11 is not so good. The truth is that Margarita feared that Belmont would be ousted from the role of god of destruction or erased by Zeno, and because of this she's very kind in the reports she made about his work. Suspicious that the angel of Universe 11 was not acting as neutrally as she should have, Daishinkan decided to spy on them, and then ended up finding about their love relationship. After discovering this, the Grand Priest summoned Belmont, Margarita, and Topo to a meeting. and then he announced that he already knew everything that was happening. Belmont and Margarita tried to explain, but it didn't work. Zeno erased Belmont from existence, and Daishinkan removed Margarita's position as an angel, and she ended up becoming a mere mortal, just like Miras. Zeno also wanted to erase Universe 11 as retaliation, but Daishinkan said that was not necessary, as there was already a good destroyer candidate for Universe 11, Topo. Also, there was an angel in training they could use to replace Margarita. Zeno agreed with the Daishinkan's advice and did not erase Universe 11. After Belmont was erased and Margarita lost her divinity as an angel, Topo was proclaimed Universe 11's god of destruction, and Winnet, who was an angel in training, was proclaimed the new angel. Despite everything, Garrow's existence was not discovered by Daishinkan or Zeno, as Belmont and Margarita feared that the Grand Priest would find out about them and avoided talking about their son, as they knew he had the ability to spy on them without their knowing. But now Topo could no longer take care of the child either, since he was now the new god of destruction and was constantly under the watchful eye of an angel. So one day he managed to go to Garrow hiding from Winnet and told the boy everything. After telling the boy everything and saying that he could no longer take care of him, Topo asked General Caceral, who was the new leader of the Pride Troopers, to insert Garrow into the troop and teach him what he needed. Obviously, Caceral agreed. Garrow began to be trained by the Pride Troopers. The child trained hard every day, and the reason for that was he had a big goal. He wanted to destroy Daishinkan, Zeno, and all the gods and angels. Garrow wanted to destroy the entire divine hierarchy that killed his father, exiled his mother, and prevented his adoptive father from caring for him. Garrow wanted to wipe out the entire divine hierarchy that made him stand alone in this world. Well guys, today I close this story here. What did you think of this plot? If you enjoyed it, like this video and share it with your friends. To continue with this story, I need this video to have a relevant number of likes, comments, views, and new subscribers. That's the only way I know it's worth bringing this content back to you. Also, don't forget to visit our Patreon. Until the next time, bye bye.